incoming chairman of the ECCB Monetary Council that met in Antigua and Barbuda, Prime Minister Gaston Brown, reported during a press conference 18 July that there was no evidence of malpractice by anyone in regard to the multi-million-dollar official residence for the bank's governor, which is nearing completion at Beacon Heights, St. Kitts. According to Chairman Brown, procedures were followed, but the sharing of information between the Central Bank's Board of Directors and the ECCB Monetary Council was not sufficient. This is the explanation that the chairman provided when asked about it at the press conference.
One thing I can say for sure, there is no evidence of any malpractice by anyone who was responsible for monitoring this particular project. In fact, it went through all of the necessary procedures. For example, the bids went to tender and they were selected accordingly. Bids for the consultants, for the contractor, architect, and all of the procedures were followed. This particular project was managed primarily by the board of directors. As you know, the council itself and council members, we concentrate primarily in policy formulation, and the history of the operations of the council is such that it does not get involved in project management. So you did not have that regular, let's say, feeding of information to the council. In fact, to the best of my knowledge, the issue of the cost of construction of the governor's residence was never a formal item on the agenda. But we felt, however, that council members should have been kept informed via the directors, and that is where we felt that there was some weakness in terms of sharing information at the time.
The chairman said several recommendations were made to strengthen the reporting mechanisms for the overall governance of projects.
There's also a requirement, for example, that any project in excess of $10 million, that it should be fed up to the council, and they must get a no objection from the council before they pursue any such project. Now, the idea is not for the council to micromanage these projects. I mean, we expect that between the consultants that we employ and the board of directors and so on, that they have the competence to manage these projects. But at the same time, we are strengthening the reporting mechanisms, and at the same time to ensure that amounts in excess of $10 million that the council members should be kept up to date routinely. So one of the major outcomes out of this is that the governance framework will be strengthened, and whereas before, the information caught us somewhat flat-footed, in the future we should have the information. And I don't know that, if, for example, that we did not have a flawed bill of quantity, and the fact too that one of the bids clearly was outlier. I don't know that the building necessarily would have cost less than the $20+ million. So there's no evidence to suggest otherwise.
Earlier this year, a leaked letter from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves expressing condemnation of the project for its high cost stirred up a range of commentary, accusations, and speculation. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Ambassador David Lin of the Republic of China Taiwan bade farewell to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis on Friday, July 18th in an open letter published on the SK Newsline website and local media. Ambassador Lin said, quote, "After 7.5 unforgettable years on these shores, the time has come for me to say farewell, not as a stranger leaving, but as a friend returning home, carrying the spirit of your islands in my heart," end quote. He compared his time to a long-distance run-up Brimstone Hill, challenging yet rewarding, and praised the quiet strength of the people. Together, he said, they overcame the trials of COVID-19 and pushed forward with impactful initiatives. Under his watch, projects in solid waste management, renewable energy, dignity identity, mental health, and agriculture took root. Lin also celebrated the development of key infrastructure like the JNF Climate Smart Hospital and the Malcolm Gishard Park in Nevis. Education remained a cornerstone of the partnership, Lin pointed out, with over 90 local students receiving Taiwan scholarships. Mandarin language programs also continued to grow, fostering a cultural exchange and mutual understanding. The ambassador recalled with pride the visits of Taiwan's foreign minister and president, Tsai Ing-wen, who made history as the first Taiwanese president to visit Nevis, underscoring the strength of the 40-year diplomatic bond. In a poetic farewell, Lin likened the Taiwan-St. Kitts and Nevis relationship to a well-aged local rum, rich, refined, and enduring. He thanks citizens across the Federation for their warmth and hospitality. The full letter by Ambassador Lin can be found on the SK Newsline website at www.sknewsline.com. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Get ready, St. Kitts! The king of comedy is back! It's Oliver Samuels! One night, one cast, a million laughs. Bring your belly because you can laugh till it busts.
1 dozen dog you lick down in a 1 week. 2 of them fatal.
The dog then stand up on the sidewalk. And as they see me coming, then it's run under the car, so. It's frame them trying to frame.
Don't miss Oliver Samuels, live and uncensored, this August 31st at the stunning Carabola Sunset Deck. The man who kept generations laughing under the stars, by the sea. Get your tickets now. For tickets, Farm Care, Azul Printers, Central Service Center, and Jadcash.
Your favorite TV shows are just a click away with TVC Plus at tvcplus.live. Stream our 24-hour live programming. Catch the latest episodes of TVC Originals on demand. Enjoy premium pay-per-view content and so much more. Watch on any device, TV, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Visit www.tvcplus.live. Stream, watch, enjoy.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
Good day to the beautiful people of St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Martin News Desk now airs on
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on TVC
at 11 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. So
make sure to tune in.
It's Entertainment TV at its finest. Join us for Main Event, the Caribbean's leading entertainment show only on Television Caribbean TVC. Tune in as our host chats with top artists and entertainers, bring you the latest buzz in entertainment, and showcase the hottest music videos from the region's biggest stars. Main Event airs on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with rebroadcast on Fridays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. When it comes to entertainment, it's always the Main Event on TVC.
Premier Cora Richardson Hodge, former chairperson of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Monetary Council, said she will continue to be committed to the advancement of the members of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union and the wider OECS sub-region. The immediate past chairperson of the ECCB Monetary Council was addressing the 17th July opening session for the Monetary Council's meeting with the official changeover of chairmanship to incoming Prime Minister Gaston Brown of Antigua and Barbuda. Council members who are Ministers of Finance in the ECCU met to discuss policy matters of the Central Bank and related matters. Premier Richardson Hodge and Prime Minister Gaston Brown commented on the work of the Council and the ECCB.
In the ECCU, 2024 was a year of recovery and consolidation, marked by modest growth, easing inflation, and improving fiscal health, albeit with some underlying vulnerabilities. Economic activity in the region is estimated to have expanded by 3.7%. Tourism and construction led the way in respect to this economic upturn. Visitor arrivals in member countries have mostly recovered as conditions in source markets and regional air connectivity have improved. During this past year, the monetary and credit environment remained favorable to the growth and development of the ECCU. at the end of the central bank's 2024-2025 financial year, the backing of the EC dollar stood at 97%, with foreign reserves at EC 5.5 billion. In addition to monetary stability, the Monetary Council remained committed to promoting the economic development of ECCU member countries. Access to the formal banking system is a vital step in opening doors to financial tools and pathways that can build wealth and help break the cycle of poverty for generations of citizens.
And it is important for every citizen, every resident to understand that you cannot build a successful nation of poor people. And whereas I do accept from time to time we'll have pockets of poverty, we must work collectively and unrelentingly to build the individual and collective wealth of our people and our nation. I must add that this policy shift must be supported by increased entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, creativity, and innovation. Now, instead of marrying ourselves in can't-do rhetoric, we must become a can-do people who will generate tangible value utilizing our knowledge and skills for the development of our respective countries. Too many among us are quick to tell us what cannot be done. As I said, we must become a can-do people. For example, I am of the firm view that the central bank has a significant role to play in catalyzing these domestic investments in revenue and foreign exchange earning assets. We have to go beyond the traditional role of central banks. When these major economic models were developed, they were not developed for small microstates. And we must develop our own economic models, our bespoke models, taking into consideration the idiosyncrasies and certainly the limited capital formation within the currency region. And this will require bold, deliberate action, frame-breaking action, not for us to be timid and to do what others tell us to do. In fact, I make the point here too that there is absolutely no compelling reason whatsoever why the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank cannot utilize a small portion of its reserves, let's say up to 3% of its reserves, in US dollar denominated government securities on the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange to provide a portion of the capital that would fund these revenue and foreign currency generating businesses, especially in the tourism sector.
The ECCB is implementing a set of initiatives that, through the so-called The Big Push, are aimed at advancing the economic well-being of member countries. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline. While the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is promoting the development of a smart hospital and the refurbishment of the JNF General Hospital, Ms. Wendy Phipps, a former senator with responsibility for health during the previous Team Unity administration, expressed concern over what she believes are deteriorating services and conditions in the island's health institutions. Ms. Phipps, who is also the current chairperson of the opposition People's Labour Party, commented on health infrastructure during the opening session of a recent PLP press conference in July.
Now, among the other issues that we continue to face in St. Kitts and Nevis is the declining state of our health sector. We have all gotten to the point where whenever you hear yet another horror story coming out of JNF, you're wondering, when is the other shoe going to drop? Or when you thought something was bad enough, something else happens and you're wondering, my God, I didn't think it could get worse. And these are some of the issues that we continue to face: the on again, off again opening hours of the pharmacies and so forth, closure of Mary Charles because you don't maintain your buildings properly, so you have a bee infestation. And it's like we're going from the sublime to the ridiculous in some of these issues. And nevertheless, the whole issue of the human resource challenges with our health infrastructure, they're also causes for concern as well. I don't need to belabor them because we live them every single day.
Ministry of Health information points to increased medical and nursing professionals on staff, with upgrades taking place at some facilities. However, there have been on occasion complaints emerging on social media regarding service difficulties. Glenn Barr reporting for SK Newsline.
Get ready, kids! The king of comedy is back! It's Oliver Samuels! One night, one cast, 1 million laughs. Bring your belly because you can laugh till it busts.
1 dozen dog you lick down in a 1 week. 2 of them fatal.
The dog then stand up on the sidewalk. And as they see me coming, then it's run under the car, so. It's frame them trying to frame.
Don't miss Oliver Samuels, live and uncensored, this August 31st at the stunning Carabola Sunset Deck. The man who kept generations laughing under the stars by the sea. Get your tickets now. For tickets, Farm Care, Azul Printers, Central Service Center, and Jadcash.